Standing strong in my culture, keeping culture alive. Standing
Hello to the tribe and welcome to Inking Stories. Today's conversation is a continuation from our last episode on independent realities, and it's a very exciting journey and collaboration we're going to speak about, which started at our first panel, Independent Realities, and here we are to announce this beautiful collaboration between Yangdol, a traditional Tibetan artist from Sikkim, meets India's original bomb boy graffiti and tattoo artist from the maximum city, Mumbai. Welcome, Zake.
Hello, everyone.
Hello, Yangdol. So nice to see you.
Hello.
Yo,
Good
my
to see
brother
you, man.
Zake.
Hi, Andre. Hi. Hi, everybody.
Hi, guys. Welcome back. And yeah, the journey started at the Independent Reality panel, and here we are excited to make this announcement happen, this collaboration. So thank you guys for joining in today and taking out your time to be here. Yangdol,
Hi,
I'll start
hi.
with I'll start with I'll start the discussion with you,
Sure,
and
sure.
I would like you to tell us something about your style of art and what was your inspiration behind pursuing this style.
I pursue traditional Tibetan style, and I like to introduce it. I mean, take it to other mediums like digital art and even tattooing. My inspiration was basically the semiotic approach to the study of Tibetan art. So there's a lot of concept and storytelling behind it, and I felt like it had a lot to offer to the newer generation, and I felt like it should be there for other mediums as well, like tattooing and digital art, and even in merch and all that. So yeah, that's what I do. At
It's
least that's what
awesome.
I'm
That
trying to do. Yeah.
I know. I wish you all the best. It's one of my favorite styles and subjects and cultures as well. So
Thank you.
thanks for sharing that, Yangdol. Zake, my brother, your work takes you across diverse genres, working with different media from paint to sound and now to movement. How did it all start? How did this journey all start for you?
Yeah, it began with the urge of like expressing, and hip hop was one thing that really inspired me to express. And the fact that they were expressing in a way that there was no boundary, there was no like you can say anything that you want. And I think when I heard rappers, and when I was in the time when I used to live in the slums, I was very like moved, like by the sense that they were like expressing so freely. So I got into
Mhm.
hip hop, and I realized that maybe I wasn't good at writing raps, but I was good at drawing. So I started to, see graffiti behind the rap videos, and I thought, this is something I can do. And it was also a bit of a struggle because nobody in the beginning was doing something like this. So I was the first one actually hanging out in the street, and uh, people asking me what art form is this. And so that whole journey has been very like beautiful, because I came across so many people, uh, and I also express in different mediums. I took it to tattoo, and now I've started writing. So I make music, and it's kind of beautiful that like you can, if what I can't express in my drawing, I can at least express by writing, and in my music. Or and even like tattooing teaches me so much about the entire like spectrum of things like I need to work with. And yeah, it's like everything complements each other, and it's just I'm a new person like every day.
Absolutely, bro. That's beautiful to see, how you're working with multidisciplinary styles and formats to,
Yeah.
express your
Yes.
creative side, man. That's really awesome. Yangdol,
Yes.
how has your experience been so far? What were your major challenges that you encountered during this journey, and what kind of learnings do you have from your experience so far?
I think the experience. Sorry, I didn't catch your last bit.
So what kind of I'll repeat the question again. How has your experience been so far? What were the major challenges that you encountered during this journey? What kind of learnings do you have, from it? And what keeps you motivated to keep pushing forward, even though you have these extreme challenges and face hardships at time.
Okay, okay. So yeah, the experience so far is really good, especially like the response from the younger generation is good. I mean, like they like to see Tibetan inspired tattoos and illustrations, digital illustrations. I think like they're getting it, but at the same time, there are some people in the Tibetan community, even in the Sikkimese community, who see like Tibetan art as tattoos to be a huge disrespect. So, for example, if you do the tanka style in someone else's body, it's supposed to be very religious, and they see that it might come off as a disrespect to the traditional art, you know. And also uh, there is this notion in their heads, like the older generation, that you will not be. I mean, after death, you will not find your way through your afterlife. So that's one of the uh, I don't know what to call it. I think it's a stigma that is against
Mhm.
tattooing in the Tibetan community. But like I've been doing my own research. I mean, I've been reading the Tibetan Book of the Dead, and it's a very heavy book. I mean, it gets very very philosophical at times. But up until now, like I've read almost half of it. It's a very heavy one. So up until now, there is no mention of like something like that, something like tattooing. Uh, which prevents you from getting enlightenment after death, or which is a hamper to your self-realization. And I think it's also a lot to do with interpretation of Buddhism, like how you interpret it.
Mhm.
So if you interpret it as like an attachment to your body, like tattooing yourself is being too attached to your body, if you interpret it that way, if your intent is that, then it will be that only. So it's how you see, it's just perspective, I think. So that's how I go along with my journey in tattooing. That's how I haven't stopped tattooing till now. Like although like there's a lot of stigmas revolving around it. So yeah, that's just how I see things. And I think the biggest inspiration, I can't say that oh this person is my inspiration, because I haven't really talked with any other person who is facing this type of a challenge within the community. And I think like in Sikkim, like I'm the only one trying to do this, like trying to specialize in traditional Tibetan art form in tattooing, and trying to like talk about these things regarding these stigmas and all that, especially with the the older generation. I'm trying to like at least do this conversation with them. So the only inspiration I can say is like you have to build it within yourself. So like I wouldn't ask a younger artist to go and like get inspired from me or anybody else, because I don't think that inspiration is something you can take it from somewhere, and I don't think that anybody can take it away from you as well. So yeah, I feel like you have to build it in yourself, and it's something that you have that has to be ingrained in you. That's just my opinion about this.
No, that's a
Beautiful.
beautiful and that's very strong,
Yeah, that's
strong
just what I
message, and
feel. Yeah,
yeah, and now it's a
because
Yeah.
learning
it's
for me also
art
today.
is very subjective. Art is very subjective, and like whatever I say, so there are so many people who come and ask me how is the tattooing scene in Sikkim, and if they can survive as a tattoo artist in Sikkim. And I always tell them it's like seeing a glass half full or half empty, because there are so many challenges, and you might like get low and all that, but those challenges will be specific to you as an artist. So it depends on what type of genre you're doing, and will you face the same type of problems as I did or not? Because like it's a very subjective thing. I mean, you could do awesome in Sikkim and you could do awesome in other cities as well. But at the same time, like if you do not have it in yourself, then it's just like it's a waste of time. That's what I feel
Absolutely.
like personally.
That's
Yeah.
yeah. No, that's a very strong message, Yangdol, that we because in the independent sector we definitely face a
Yeah.
lot of challenges all over
Yeah. Yeah.
everywhere
Yeah.
in our lives,
Yeah.
and it's great to see how how you guys are talking about it, and building a balance between
Yes.
the
Yes.
challenges and
Yes.
keeping motivated, to keep
Yes.
pushing
Yes.
forward and doing this, so
And
that's awesome.
and
Yep.
I also feel that I've become a much more managed person than I was before. Like being an
Mhm.
independent artist, you have to multitask a lot, and being an artist, you have to like micromanage a lot of things. So I think like I've become better at like managing time and all that than I was before. So yeah, so it's a journey, and I think it's going great for me at least. I couldn't
So you're
say the same
managing
thing
to
for other
organize
artists.
your
Yeah,
time.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
That's
yeah.
great. That's great, man.
Yeah,
And
yeah, that's what
what's the
like,
one thing? Yeah, what's that one thing that you wake
yeah.
up in the morning and says that motivates you to go out and do your thing for the day?
I think it's just as simple as nature, like just seeing like the nature around me. It's like everything else is up, so like I need to be up as well. It's just very simple. Yeah.
Awesome, awesome. Zake, my brother, Mumbai as a city,
Right.
acts as uh, a platform for experimentation and provides, space for very different ideas to materialize. However, it is quite challenging to work beyond the conventional ideas and especially merge boundaries between, certain established styles. Right. Like I'm sure you've been facing, what's your experience been? What has your learning been? And what's your, what drives the force behind you to keep doing this work? Like, I mean, when you see a hoarding being painted, way back in the days, and they would be painting a nice Bollywood picture on it, you would have all the permissions. People would walk past, cops, authorities, and everybody would look up and say, "Wow, that's happening there. It's a great work." Yes, it is a part of the city, and you got
Yeah.
when you going out and painting. I mean, you're like pushing the boundaries and like going into these spaces which are not very welcoming, and at the same time you see it as a revival to the city, and you're going to express your art on it. So yeah, tell us about
Yeah.
your experience, your journey, your struggles, and your motivation.
Yeah, like I remember the times when I used to see these painters, on painting on hoardings, and I was like, wow, at such a big scale, they're doing such a thing, and it's so beautiful. But at the same time, I realized that there was not much respect. I would say they were more of like painter, and uh, people didn't really consider them as artists, because they were doing more commercial work, and they didn't really have their. I don't know. I mean, like that it changed after print media took over, and I started after a point, I just started seeing stickers, and just like vinyl stickers, and posters and hoardings that are now flex. Now there are hoardings that are like totally like LED panels, so the traditional medium is almost like disappearing. And when people started seeing me painting on the street, they had a similar notion of like, maybe this is an ad, or maybe this is something he's trying to sell, or he's come to from a company. And so they always ask me like, hey, are you painting this for an ad, or what is this, what are you trying to sell? But The moment I used to be like, no, this is art and this is just,
Yeah.
something that I want to do for my city. I just want to beautify the city, or I just want to represent myself. Then, that click, and just change that mentality of the people. They start to realize that this is happening now on a large scale, and there are artists who want to express on the street. It's beautiful. The force that drives me is when people start accepting the space. It A shady corner becomes so beautiful that people want to chill there more. They want to take videos. Kids come there, see me doing it. Like before, when I was doing it as a 20-year-old, it's been 10 years now in this whole thing. As a 20-year-old, I had nobody, like nobody to look upon. Like, there was nobody who was doing so. YouTube has been my teacher, and I like all the videos I see graffiti, and I used to pause them, just to see what can they are using, or just to understand like how this thing is done, because I couldn't see anybody. So when I started painting on the street, there were artists from other countries that used to visit, and they see my name on the street, and they used to try and connect to me. Like before there was uh, a little bit of Facebook, like internet had just come, and there was Orkut, and then Facebook just came into picture, and we had a small community of like 15 graffiti artists from all over India. And I remember I could like we could count on our fingers like that many graffiti artists, and now there are so many people who are doing graffiti. So it was a bit of a struggle, starting back then. But when I started meeting these artists that visit and they saw my name and they used to connect with me, I learned a few things about how they go in the streets, what are the
Mhm.
rules. There are certain rules also that you need to follow. Like we don't want to offend anybody. Like graffiti is not about like going mad and crazy over everything. We respect the cultural aspect. We don't go over religious monuments. We don't go over private property. These are the things that people don't really talk about, but they are like unsaid rules of graffiti. And it really taught me a lot to how like meeting people from different categories, different lifestyles, on the street especially. You don't really meet just artists. There are tons of questions that are not art related, and it's kind of crazy like how I also changed as a person because of my art. And that's why I started expressing in different mediums. That's why I met tattoo artists. That's why I met like people who make music. And I just got interested in everything, and I think it's my time to just absorb all the knowledge, because I'm still waiting for that higher purpose, I feel. And it's gonna come to me, and I'm sure I believe in it. It's just that right now I just want to express in everything I can. I don't I, I I don't wait for anything. I work on my skills, and it's beautiful like to collaborate like people across, like with Yangdol especially. It's been such a uh, like what we came up with is something that I never thought I would do in my life. So it's beautiful.
Man, respect to the two of you. You guys have been pushing the boundaries. You guys have been making those efforts to be like, you know be the lead in something which is non-conventional and non-commercial. So it does take a lot of uh, discipline to do this, to go out there and do this. And I think, as you said, Yangdol and Zeke, about there is method to the madness. So this reinforces it that yes, there is a method. It may be crazy what you guys are doing, but you have to have, as Zeke also put it across, that there is a certain respect that you give to
Yeah.
the culture and the that art form. So you do, as youngsters, just don't think that. oh, I just go out there and express something, but there are certain, good practices that you need to, follow in your style and in your work, as well. Great, great, man. Um, okay, now let's talk about this unique piece of collaboration, contemporary and traditional, street and Tibetan. Yeah. What was the concept behind this work and process? What kind of process did you guys consider of conceptualizing this work when you guys came together? Um, how did each of you respond to the other's distinctive styles, respect those styles, and arrive at a common language of saying, okay, this is what we agree on, and yeah, and you guys made this collaboration happen. So perhaps, Yangdol, you can start with your experience and.
Yes, so about the technical part, it was really easy for us to work because although he's in Mumbai and I'm in Sikkim, we both work with Procreate. So it's very easy for us to like send our artworks via mail and just like tell each other what we think about the artwork. So I sent him something and then he made some modifications on it and he sent me back. So we actually spend a lot of time on the composition part of it. So an illustration on paper would look very different on a t-shirt, right? So uh, my main purpose was the composition part of it. I mean, like even how the colors would play with the material of the shirt. So if there is
Mhm.
like a black, it's very technical, a bit, it's kind of technical at this part. So when there's black on a certain part of that t-shirt, it has to blend with the material, like if the t-shirt is black, then it has to blend with the material itself. That's how it looks good in my observation in t-shirts and all that. And so that's how technically I approached this. And I'm not an expert at this, but I had a fair knowledge about streetwear, and like I observe a lot of graphics on t-shirts, and I also did a thesis on streetwear when I was working. When I was studying in school. I mean, I went to a design school, graphic design. So I did a thesis on streetwear. So I had like a fair idea of it. So I don't think it was really complex. I mean, the communication was very fluid, and I could understand like where he's going, and yeah, so it wasn't very hard. But we did spend a lot of time on the composition aspect of it, and most of the coloring is done by Zake. So yeah, he wanted like I think we both of us wanted to have very like popping colors in a black t-shirt. Yeah, that's the technical aspect of it. And conceptually, it was like bringing two styles together and coming up with something different that even like Tibetan art can work with a new art form like street and graffiti. So yeah, it was like a fusion work, and I think it worked out really well. It's complementing each other. That's what I feel about this artwork.
Zake, my brother, what has been your journey on this collaboration? Like, we kind of, so like we spoke about this collaboration and we spoke about the idea and, requesting both of y'all with very, very different styles and cultures to come up with this work. So, what is your, same, like, what's your
Yeah.
process and how did you adapt
Yeah.
to this work?
Yeah, I mean, like, even though we have different styles, if you look at the final artwork, you'd be like it looks so, together, and it doesn't at all look like there are two different artists, and it was beautiful when we started. Actually, told Yangdol that, hey, I'm working on this one character. I'm developing this one character that can represent me. So I started to sketch it, and she actually had that dagger and kind of that the lotus and everything made. So I tried to put it back, and it was looking beautiful in that composition. So there was a lot of to and fro, and because we both were like aware about how to use Procreate. we could do it so easily, and like it there was no communication gap as such. Like she could understand. She's also well versed in graphic design. I will also come from a college that, like, I also learned applied art, so it was much easier for both of us to kind of understand each other and create something. And I saw her lines when I checked out her artwork. I was like blown. Like I was like, this this is a really great opportunity for me to create something, because I haven't done collaborations as much with other styles. I have collaborated more on the street with graffiti artists, and everybody has his bold colors and bold lines, and but like Yangdol had this beautiful lines, and like very fluid kind of artwork, and very traditional elements also. So I think it comes together so well, because this two distinct cultures, but like, and also like while coloring, because it's I kind of uh like the colors are mostly like nighttime colors. They are like violets, and
Mm,
it's not, it's not like warm colors. It's more like like cool colors and everything. And I tried a bit of like, you know, two, three variants of it, but I really love this. And then when I sent it to Young, she was also happy. So I'm actually really happy that, like, we settled onto something, because, how like two artists have two different imaginary, two different ways to look at things. And, you're never happy with like the
Yeah.
thing that it's finally gonna come out. But she was also happy, and even I was happy. So I think it's a successful collaboration so far.
Yes,
that's
yes.
awesome. I you know today I feel like there's this buzzword going on, collaborations.
Hmm.
Um, while reality in collaborations can reflect very different aspects of working. Some
Yeah.
projects come out successful, and I'm really happy to see this project come out as a success, and we kind of sail through with it. And as we you guys spoke about that, it really, there is so much a blend into it that it looks like one piece of work by two different styles. However,
Yeah.
it's a collaboration between two different styles. What do you guys think about the collaborative process? Whether today is just a people are talking about, I mean, artists, let's collaborate, but some point, as two artists, as two independent artists, you must have had some. It's great if you never had conflict of interest or like a friction, to say, ah man, no, this does not work for me, or ah man, no, I think this will work, and but how do you address this side of the challenge? Yangdol, Zake, who
Should
wants
I
to go
go?
first on it?
So
Yeah.
yeah, for
Yeah.
me,
Please, Jan.
yeah, so a collaboration is not like simply like throwing two logos together, right? Like a lot of companies do that, like they just smash two logos together and they call it a collaboration. For me, it's actually the process. Like you actually have to put work into it, right? So yeah, what I feel was like Zake and me, we were working at the same level. I mean, I can't say that, oh, I did more in this collaboration than him, at least in my part. So yeah, I felt like it was equally divided. I mean, the work, all both of us did the work. So I'm very happy about this collaboration. Yeah, I can't say that like, oh, this is not good or anything. I'm like 100% happy with it. Yeah, so we actually I'm just happy about the fact that we actually went through the process of creating something from like what we had, right? So it's not just like how like people
Yeah.
just throw two logos together. Collaboration in clothing especially happens a lot, in streetwear it happens a lot. So I'm very happy about this. We can actually call this an art project, right? We can call this an actual drop. So that's what I'm happy about.
Yes,
Zake,
thanks a
my
Zake, what
lot.
what do
brother.
you
Like,
think?
I feel, yeah. Yeah, I feel, I mean, there was no friction at all, you know. I was open to what ideas she's putting out. She was also open to what I'm putting out. So the moment that I started sketching and I started showing her the first draft, she immediately knew what to put, you know. She immediately knew what is gonna come, you know, in front of it or in the background, and and it just worked out so smooth. Like I could believe myself because I have collaborated and I know how much, like, friction there is between two artists. But um, I think, and yeah, like, to even see it, like the print, actually see the print, it's so good, and it really looks good on the t-shirt. And we also didn't imagine it on the t-shirt in the beginning. We were more like, like we composed it on that A3. But to put it on T-shirt and to see it like live,
Yeah,
it's amazing, man. Like, I'm 100% happy too. Like, I really love Yangdol's style. I really respect her work. So I mean, it's an honor for me.
yeah, me too. It's an honor to work with you. It's actually my first time working with a graffiti artist, and yeah, we come from different styles, but like we had the same wavelength. I think that's the right word. So I think that's the reason why this
Yeah.
collaboration worked.
Yes.
Awesome. See, yeah, I've been as all about tattoo, or a lot of my journey. Even as the Mumbai Assembly, we ran a space in Mumbai. We run a space for alternative art and music and performing arts and cinema in the independent sector, to promote and support. And we have always believed in collaborations, that we make co-productions, collaborations, and that only comes to show like how we can coexist with each other,
Yeah,
you know and while we all have different journeys and different paths and different
yeah,
struggles and challenges to face and to live with, but we can coexist and we can collaborate. And
yes, yes,
that was one of the main key reasons behind my mind when we came up with the independent realities conversation. And I was like super excited to say, man, Zake and Yangdol, you guys should come together and do an artwork. And I'm so happy that you
Yeah.
guys accepted
Man,
it.
thanks to you. Yeah.
Hey,
thank you
Really,
bro,
for this
I
I
really
was
opportunity.
appreciated you put.
hey,
Yeah,
no
really
way,
thank
man.
you, Andre, for this opportunity, man. Like, I couldn't believe, like, when you even put forward the idea, like, I was like, yes, let's do this, because
Yeah. And
otherwise
Yeah,
it
yeah,
could
me
I
too,
have
was
me
been
too.
so
your. Yeah.
I was so excited to see this outcome, and I kept telling Yang Dolin, I said, can I see a sneak peek of it? Can I see something,
Yeah,
before the panel? But
Yeah.
when I saw the first time I saw it, I was like, okay, man, I just can't wait to see the finished product and, and see this artwork come alive. And yeah, it's come alive today.
yeah,
And I definitely see it's an honor, to have this very unique piece of work that, as Yangdol, you said, it's just not like smashing two logos or two works
yeah.
together and
That's
saying,
that's what we see
you
all
know,
the time in streetwear.
yeah, like
Like
even
that's what we see all.
even in music, or any, well, you see, okay, let's collaborate and just smash two things together, my style, your style, and make it a collaboration. While this has been like, this is the true meaning of street collaboration, what I see. And
Yes, yes.
on that note, uh, let's now finally see that artwork.
Thank you so much, Andre, for making this possible, man.
Hey, man, I love to see projects like this come alive and happen. And
Yep.
yeah, I think that's my journey to enjoy when I can,
Yeah.
when I can see and make. make these collaborations happen, and it's really beautiful. So, yeah, thank
No,
you
but
guys
thank you
for doing this.
so much. You took all the yeah, it, and
Hey, bro,
I don't thank you, man. Like,
Yeah.
thank you so much for this, and yeah, it's I think I will be focused in this journey, and we'll see more and more collaborations, and I hope that everybody can learn something from this project that's been done, and everybody can learn how to respect each other's work, and also maybe cross each other's paths in a respectful and appreciating way, and support each other, because it's not easy, it's tough. And on that note, I would like to tell the audience and our viewers also to support our artist community, to support our artists. uh, these posters are going to be up for sale and for grab, and man, these are only 10 very limited edition 10 prints being dropped now, and we will put the price out on our Instagram and our pages. And guys, please support the artist and the artwork. This is going to be this artwork, man. You'll miss out if you don't pick up one of them. That's all I can tell everybody. I mean, don't miss this opportunity of
yeah,
of
sure.
having this artwork up on your wall, and that's going to be pride, and it's a proud moment for us. Thank you, guys. We'll drop limited edition T-shirts also, that you can see. You'll catch one of the T-shirts on Zake's upcoming video that he's going to drop very soon. And we've had an opportunity, Yangdol and me, to see it, and it's going to look super cool when that video comes out. And yeah, you could be one of those lucky ones to have those T-shirts, have one of those T-shirts. So please go ahead and support us, and as we believe that the proceeds of all this goes to the two artists who have created it, and we just want to extend our support to them. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much for this. And one last, not question, but one last conversation, Zake, that I thought of having is, it's an exciting moment to see. You've also dropped your NFTs, and I thought that we could use this artwork as a collaborative between y'all and put it out as an NFT in the future.
Yes, yes, yes.
That's a good idea.
So
Definitely, I would love
so we
to.
shall.
That's a really good idea.
Yeah, I think we should do it.
I think we got a little. So yep, let's drop this as an NFT soon,
Yeah, yeah, sure,
and
sure.
that'll be another exciting announcement. But in the meantime, guys, please support us and support our artists and our community, and help us sell out these posters and T-shirts as soon as possible. Thanks, guys. Thank you so much.
Standing strong in my culture, keeping culture alive.